Like many places, Indian country has its haves and it has its have-nots. A handful of tribes located in more population areas populated areas have become wealthy with casinos. And on the positive side, they've used federal incentives to do exactly what Congress intended, and it has allowed them to make up gaps in services left by inadequate federal budgets. On the negative side, too many people think gaming tribes are the norm in Indian country, and they are not. The rates of unemployment and poverty in the vast majority of Indian country are dramatically higher than the rest of the nation. In some communities, many in Montana, we see unemployment rates as high as 70%, and the lack of private investment is absolutely crippling to get those numbers down. Unfortunately, the tough economic condition in this country Indian country has been living through it. Challenges stem from many sources: rural isolation, lack of institutional investment, poor health care, inadequate educational institutions, and in some cases, tribes were just flat cheated out of their opportunities, which resulted in some experts have described as a cycle of poverty. Rather than each new generation building on the past, the vicious cycle repeats itself over and over again. And it prevents American Indians from achieving their full potential. Good. I want to talk about trust property real quick because my time is running out. Trust property is something that's pretty unique to Indian reservations, and it's something that I know, Martin, you've worked with. I know, Sue, you're an expert on it. But there are many financial institutions that, quite honestly, don't have a clue about what it's about. We've had experience through you, Martin, with one of them, and we got to the bottom of it, but it takes a while. The question is and it's for both Martin and Sue, and you can go first, Sue, is there a role for regulators like the Fed and FDIC and NCUA for credit unions in helping financial institutions understand the issues unique to tribal community as it relates to trust lands?
Thank you for the question, Senator. And certainly there's always room on the education front to help financial institutions understand these things. The one thing that I would like to point out, and I'm going to circle back to the Uniform Law Commission's proposed Model Tribal Probate Code initiative, is, we need to begin tackling these land issues where we have vast areas of land in Indian country that are tied up and unable to be used either as collateral to access credit or for development purposes. This particular initiative will begin to tackle just one small piece, and that is to, moving forward, really tackle the fractionated interests in allotted lands. This initiative, of course, needs some funding to be able to move forward, but the intent, and certainly in our preliminary stakeholder meetings, has included a broad representation not only of federal agencies that are involved in this, but also key stakeholders from tribes, Native legal organizations, and others to come together and really work on tackling this issue. So I would really look for support for this initiative to get off the ground. I think it's a critical one.